So welcome everybody. We are very happy to share with you 6 months of staying in Braj in 1 hour. It's a very nice condensed version. It's a little bit different than what we usually do for the living in Braj sessions, but we hope it will still be inspiring for all of you. So we were starting our traveling in Harakund, where we can see this beautiful picture. This picture is actually not from this pilgrimage. That's maybe 15 or 20 years ago, once we came with His Holiness Sachinandana Swami to India. And we just came directly from airport to Harakund. And there was this beautiful, beautiful sunrise that we could take in the picture. Yeah, I have already another one now. So our journey started, it was super, super hot. And we had around 45 degrees outside and 38 degrees inside of the house. We had to put talc on our body all the time because it was itching like anything. But we started full power spiritually, spending a lot of time in chanting, in reading, and every morning we would come to the Kund and take our bath. We would submerge ourselves into the water and chant the Radhakripa Kataksha Stotram. We would learn the Radhakund Astakam, the different Astakam for Giriraj, and sing a lot. So we had a very, very inspiring and transcendental entry into our pilgrimage, and also the grace or I would say privilege of being able to stay in Radhakund, which is according to Rupa Goswami, the highest place where one can be, was a very, very a great blessing. So we were down into the water, singing every day, and appreciating also to be in an environment a little cooler. Everything was super hot. The drinking water was super hot. The shower, whenever you would take shower, everything was hot. And when we will come to Radhakund, we will do every morning. We will come to the Kund from the place where we were staying. And close to Lalita Kund is a place where we are supposed to stop and make a prayer. It's a long range of bench where one can sit. And this is the place where we will sit, and we will have just in front of us this beautiful Kalpavriksha tree, where we always felt this is like the ideal place for Radha and Krishna to sit under. And we were all the time praying for eventually one day having the darshan of Radha and Krishna. And this is something very important and beautiful in Braj Bhumi, is that we reconnect deeply with our spiritual aspirations, with what is actually our desire inside of our heart. And obviously one of them is to be able to interact and serve the divine couple face to face and be able to see them with our own eyes. So every day when we will do Parikram, we will stop there, that we would visualize or imagine the divine couple under this tree, and we were praying so that we will be able to one day see the divine couple face to face. Ajanti, feel free to add and speak also anytime you want. This was also His Holiness Sachinandana Swami during his pilgrimage, during this time in Vrindavan, so often brought the point of spiritual aspiration and ourselves connecting with them. This is Raghunath Das Goswami, Samadhi Mandir. So there also we will come every day and pray to him. And to me, Raghunath Das Goswami is the emblem of eagerness. He will spend he spent a lot of time in Harakund, and especially in his last year, he had so much eagerness for having the ability to see the divine couple and serve the divine couple face to face. So anytime we will come there, we knew here is the place where we can pray for eagerness, so that our spiritual practice will become enlivened or colored by this intense mood of calling and eagerness. This is a very beautiful picture that Janti took. This was during Kartik, when we will come to offer a deep in the evening, and the whole Kund was fully alive with so many impressions, so many saintly persons, so many pilgrims, so many scenes of devotion. One thing that we learned to do was actually to see the Holy Dham through the descriptions of the Acharyas. And that was something we never really practiced before, and we were starting to do this year. And we have one beautiful description of Harakund, and maybe Krishnalaya, if you would like to read it, if you are there. Otherwise, maybe Divya Kishori.
Sorry, it was a little bit difficult, but I'm...
Okay, perfect.
Radhakund has many forests, fairies, and hundreds of maidservants who pick various kinds of lotus flower, other items suitable for Radhakund and Krishna's service. Within the floral gardens and sub-forests are cottages. Then there are the seasonal forests that are endowed with the world life. Canopies and gates, as well as kunjalays, courtyards, swings, and platforms, all decorated with flowers. Within the play cottages of Radhakund, there are beds made of fresh lotus petals and seamless flowers, along with pillows, goblets full of honey wine, water, betel leaves, and other sweet things.
Thank you. So this is like a few verses of Govinda Lilamrita put it together. When we see, we get a glimpse of the Radhakund, of the eternal dimension. There are many more descriptions. This is just like a small place. And what we will try to do is to memorize those details, and when we will be in the Kund, to remember them. So there are forest fairies, like how we will say, like a goddess, and maidservants who are taking or fetching the fruits and flowers and other items for Radha and Krishna's service. So that's one of the details. And then there are cottages, there are seasonal forests, there are and those with all good qualities, those forests, so on and so forth. And also at the end, it's very beautiful that there are beds made of fresh lotus petals and stemless flowers, and there are pillows, drinking cups of honey vines, water, betel leaves, and other sweet things. Everything is actually there for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. So as we would,
Yes, that's what also, I think, even at the last part of our parikrama, I also had this impression, like it's that we live in Vrindavan, the Vrindavan that we see with these eyes, but one can clearly, also by reading this description like this, that there is another Vrindavan. It's like there is a curtain, no? And so there is, I think that there is something else much more behind to connect with that reality as well. And then at some point, sometimes even just while doing a parikrama or whatever, this curtain can little bit open if we meditate on how the eternal Vrindavan, because it's very close, it's just there. So
Thank you. That's one of our friends.
yeah. So in the place where we were staying, we had a small garden where every day actually we will take our prasada. We will sit outside, and there were quite in this garden there were a few animals. So there was this squirrel, and she was a mother with 3 small squirrels. So daily she was there with us. And so we thought Vrindavan is a culture of giving and sharing. So we were sharing with them. Whenever we would go out to take our lunch or breakfast, we would also put something for them. And they would come. They especially like peanuts. So we will give them peanuts also many times. And these are just oats. And so for months, so we were daily feeding them. And at some point, but whenever we would feed them, they would eat, and then if you would just do a movement or moving like this, they would really run away in fear. And I would say, why are you so fearful? I mean, we are feeding you every day, but still they were. And some days it just came to us like, yes, how is like even the Lord is maintaining us, is feeding us, nourishing us, giving us everything. But how much we are also like this small squirrel that we always worry, fearing sometimes. It's always there. It's like I say, why are you fearing? Why are you fearing? Why are you worrying? I'm there for you. I'm there every day. I'm nourishing you. So this for me was also a theme, also actually in this journey in Vrindavan, the journey of transformational journey of consciousness.
Kishori? Was it a mistake or?
No, by mistake.
Ah, okay. Thank you. And yes, so they were our teachers also, teaching us that we should actually trust the Lord. The Lord loves us, and we should not just always be fearful and worried.
There was also, we were meeting one saintly lady there in Radhakund, and we just met for some practical stuff, but I asked her, I say, can you give us some word of wisdom? That's, by the way, always a nice question when you meet devotee. Please give me some words of wisdom. And then she told us, she taught for a little while, and she says, surrender. She says, surrender because the Lord is kind, and because the Lord is there, and the Lord is caring. So why not surrender? And then life becomes much more easy. And I also remember during our time we had to go to visit an Ayurvedic doctor, poor Jayanti. But I was there and I say, okay, maybe you can take my pulse also check how I'm doing. So he took my pulse and he looked at me and said, why are you worrying so much? Why are you full of worries? You should now trust into the Lord and give up all those worries. So that was, like Vajanti said, very often a thought coming, seeing worries coming inside of us and learning to deal with them, remembering that the Lord is there and He is kind and you can trust that you can actually surrender. He's there for us.
These were other 2 good friends of us living with us also. There was a small pond, so they were always in the fresh water, always there. And Vrindavan, I mean, is also, we need to see, for example, these 2 small, I don't know how you call them, these 2 lizards also. after some time, actually, we found them dead in the water. And Vrindavan is just so death is very present. You can see it very, very often. And also, like, it's a wonderful school also to learn to actually even die before die, because death can be at any moment. One time, one squirrel that was up, actually, we had a big, how do you say?
Altar.
No, the cage.
That was a monkey
A
cage.
monkey cage that covered the whole place, and one squirrel fell from up there down in the pool, and he also left the body. So yes, the school, at any time anything can happen. Definitely in Vrindavan, this is much more present, and that help us actually to understand that now is the time to take shelter. Now is the time. Do not wait.
Even this lotus flower, that's not a picture we took from internet. That was also on the pond where we were. And even though it's so beautiful, but after sometimes it's finished, it dries, and yeah, life is temporary. And then came the monsoon season, which was a big relief. Oh my God. Temperature came around 10 degrees lower, and it was again a little bit more livable. It was, and this is a beautiful picture. We can see down this is Govardhan Hill, and that's the temple that is on the Jatipur, the temple of Gopal.
The rainy seasons means also, like, for those who were not there in Vrindavan at the time, once a day, like this, you get this big, huge, dark clouds, like we see, like the color of Krishna, this big, huge cloud, dark, very dark. You see them from far, and then they come and boom, they pour down water, they cool everything, and then it's again sunny.
Yeah, I found it very, very comfortable during the monsoon, much better than before. And what is happening is, before the monsoon, everything is fully dry. You feel most of the trees are dead. The bushes, everything looks like in desert. And when the monsoon comes, after a few days, everything is just blooming like anything. And here is during the rainy season, we were open.
Krishna Govinda Hare Mora.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't seem to work so easily with the internet. But it's okay, we have to repeat it. Anyway, that was, we were on Parikram, and someone was there with his video and catched us with the video, and later on. Okay, so Vejant is
Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva, Shri Krishna Govinda.
Anyway, I think now it's okay. That was the only video that we were showing. So we were walking, and someone just took us like this. We did not know we will end up on YouTube, but then some friends were sending us the link. Oh, we saw you. And that was, by the way, a very, very beautiful pilgrimage, a parikram of Giriraj under the water. This is also during the rainy season with Balaram Mandir. And this is also during the rainy season is the Julan Yatra. For 1 full month in all the temples, you have a Julan Yatra, and this is no one else than Radha Madan Mohan in Radhakot.
The beauty of Vrindavan is that actually every season, everything that is happening is deeply connected with Radha and Krishna. So everything reminds you of every season that is happening. Like the rainy season, it's because of the Julan Yatra, and like the full month, the devotees are on the swing. So all the devotees, they go in the evening or during the day, wherever you go, you can swing them. Because after the very hot season, Radha and Krishna enjoys being on the swing because there are cool breezes. The sky becomes just so blue. The hair becomes so clean, and you will see very beautiful colors. Everything is just so beautiful.
I was once chanting in this temple of Radha Madan Mohan in Radhakund. That was a late afternoon, and you could see so many Babajis and devotees who will come, offer obeisances, swing the deities, and then they move to the next temple, they offer obeisances, they offer prayer, they swing the deities, they go to the next temple, and they interact with all the deities in a very personal way. Oh, here is Radha Govinda. Oh, here is Radha Gopinath. Oh, here is Radha Gokulananda. And with everyone, they most probably repeat their own prayers, and they are constantly in touch with what are their aspirations, what they are praying, because they pray from temple to temple to temple. So they serve the deities, they pray, they go to the next temple. It's just an amazing sadhana to visit all those deities, serve them, and pray to them.
So this one is the Kadamba forest. So the rainy season means also the Kadamba trees are full in bloom. I don't know if you know the Kadamba flowers. I think you have them. So these are the Kadamba flowers. They are small balls. It is actually the rainy season. Each season there is also a goddess that is presiding. So during the rainy season, the goddess of the rainy season, she's described like having black hair. She has a dress made of the color of the clouds, and in one hand, in the right hand, she has a garland of Kadamba flowers. So to offer to Lord Krishna of these small balls, and on the other hand, the rainy season, she has the Chataka birds, because finally the Chataka birds can drink in the rainy season, because it's drinking only the water coming from the clouds. And yeah, so in the forest. So this also, they're so fragrant. It happened one time we were in Varshana. This is Kadamba Kandi forest. It's a forest of only Kadamba trees in Varshana. And as we were walking there, it was much before.
Or at least 1 kilometer.
1 kilometer before, we were just overwhelmed by fragrance. What is this? I mean, I knew the fragrance of the Kadamba somewhere or other, because previously I had been there also during the rainy season, and I thought, this is Kadamba flowers. I said, no, this is not possible. But as we walked closer and closer and closer, it was stronger and stronger and stronger. So it was permeating the whole area. So that's Vrindavan. That's Vrindavan. Everything for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. The flowers, the fragrances is so beautiful. And normally in the swing pastime take place in the Kadamba forest. So this is a beautiful place in Varshana, behind the hill.
We will get a little drink.
The beautiful garland, natural garland made out of leaves with the shape of a heart. This is
a small path between Varshana and Sonhera, Sonera is the village of Sudevi Saki. And there is a beautiful range of mountains or hills. And there we were sitting to chant some japa. It was super hot. And it was still the morning, so it was okay. You almost start to fear the sun. It's just so hot. And we were sitting there chanting, and I saw a person I did not know before. And this beautiful insect had a message for us, because that was the time we were looking for finding a home in Vrindavan. And his message was, don't stop searching. Even if it's difficult, keep moving the ball further. And that's a very nice analogy for our life, to never discourage, even though it might be difficult, or it might also look senseless. Like for him, it looks a little bit senseless to move this, this piece of earth. But there is for sure a reason behind it. We should actually never discourage. Beautiful stone from this hill range. This is, yeah.
This is the Goshala of Ramesh Baba. And it's amazing, like if you see all these tracks of it's food for cows. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of cows.
And that's just a part of the tracks. But they are further down the road, from both sides of the road, you have more and more and more. I think we were counting around 30 or 40 of those tracks full of sugarcane juice. And yeah, they have thousands and thousands of cows.
And daily they need this much for feeding them. Someone is taking advantage already before.
That reminds us that there is a Sanskrit term, it's utkanta. That means we have to stretch our neck. And that's also in regard to eagerness for connecting with the divine couple. Okay, here we have another verse on Vrindavan Mahimamrita that's actually underline how Vrindavan is transcendental. And maybe we could ask Ayatakshi, if you are there, to read the verse.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. I meditate on wonderful Vrindavana, where there are millions of lakes, ponds, and wells, all filled with water and sweet as transcendental nectar, where there are many gardens filled with blossoming transcendental flowers and fruit, and unlimited wonderful trees and vines, where there are numberless transcendental deer and other animals who move here and there, and where there are many beautiful transcendental groves. Vrindavan, Mahimamrita, 118.
Thank you. So here we have a lot of transcendental flowers, transcendental deers, transcendental groves, transcendental nectar, the water. And I choose this verse because this is something that in Vrindavan we can feel the transcendence. When we come to Vrindavan, usually our consciousness starts to work in a different way. Inspirations are flowing like a river from day to day. You all the time get inspiration. You are reminded of the transcendental nature of the Dham, of your own transcendental nature. And this picture is in Vrindavan. And we used to often say, oh, we prefer to stay in Govardhan because Vrindavan has so much traffic, so many buildings now. Vrindavan is changing so much. But you can still actually feel a lot of sweetness even in Vrindavan town, sometimes even in the middle of the traffic, you can feel the transcendental aspects of the Holy Dham, which is very, very much touching. And I had one, I mean, many times you can feel how the Dham is a living person, how the Dham is like our mother, Sri Vrindavan Dham, and you can feel a connection, you can feel a relationship with the place where you stay. Even actually outside of the Dham, the place where you stay, often you develop a certain type of relationship. So in the Holy Dham, this relationship is extremely sweet and extremely transcendental. It's very difficult to actually use words to describe. But recently was the retreat, the Govardhan retreat, and Vejanti and me, we had the service of being in the Das Anudas table to answer questions and sell coupons for lunch and so on and so forth. And I was sitting, and in front of me was such a beautiful, just beautiful trees and land. And I was looking at that, and I remember when Lord Brahma had stolen the cows and cowboys. He, when he came back to look what was happening to Krishna, and he was bewildered to see that the boys were there, even though he had stolen them. And then there is a verse that described that suddenly Vrindavan appeared to him, even though he was in Vrindavan, even though he was looking at Vrindavan, but suddenly Vrindavan appeared. And I was there just looking at this scene, and even though they were just trees and grass and nothing else special, I had the feeling like now Vrindavan is just fully opening, just like waves of sweetness coming in our direction. So this is very difficult to explain, but this is very often the Vrindavan is appearing in our consciousness or in our eyes. I also recall we were going to Vashana, and I mean, sometimes I was very mental and very worried and very sometimes, challenged, nervous system breaking down. It's not all pink. We will come later in more of that. But on that particular day, I was really down, and we had travel in the bus that was super loud, super crowded, and we were walking into Vashana, going to the temple, and suddenly the whole consciousness changed without any apparent reason. And I was feeling, oh, my dear Srimati Radharani, I'm now coming to your town. I'm now coming to meet you and to see you. And the all moods was just totally switching. And I understood this is just the power of Vrindavan Dham. I think I have to put the music a little bit louder. We lost it. Okay. You want another track? Okay. Good. So a few times we would actually go to Vrindavan. What do you want? A few times we were going to Vrindavan, and during the rainy season, this is in Radharaman temple, they had one day was the green day, and the next day will be the red day, and the next day will be the yellow day. And on that day, there will be light, all flower decorations, the outfit of the deities, everything will be in that color. And that was during like full rain day actually on that day. That's the Radharaman temple is always like such a spiritual and uplifting atmosphere. And here is Shishi Radharaman Ki Jai. Yeah.
Nicely that's with the coffee because it's very hot in there. And see how shining it is also.
I'm usually not so poetic, but on that day, I had a poem coming to my mind. I mean, it's a joke for those who have knowledge in poetry, but it was, the sun is burning, the wind is powerfully blowing, the dust is dancing, the monkeys are fighting, and Radharaman is smiling. This is again Radha Madan Mohan. We saw so many Radha Madan Mohan that were reminding us of our Radha Madan Mohan. And most of our time was actually spent close to Giriraj Govardhan. And we were making diary for this entire 6 months, almost every day. And every time we would make a parikram, when we will come back in the evening, when we will write, we would say, this was such a wonderful parikram. Every time, or we will do almost every week, and every time in the diary, without knowing, but showing that every parikram was just such a beautiful experience.
Yes, and from my side, I mean, since 20 years, I always loved Giriraj because it's there. And whenever you do parikram, you cannot miss it. And it's so kind, it's so personal. And it's almost like telling, I'm here for you. I care for you. Look, I'm here. And it's just so reciprocative and so much that I always thought, okay, although it seems it's full of rocks, it's actually the most soft personality, Giriraj. It's a mountain of love. This is what I thought is a mountain of love. And, all beautiful all around and very kind, very kind. Everyone around Giriraj is the monkeys, the house, everyone is feeding everyone, is nourishing everyone, no matter what, the pilgrims, everyone.
And it's also so beautiful. When we will walk, we would look here, look there, stop, hey, look. We always saw new places, but overwhelmed by beauty. And that's actually a prayer of Prabodhananda Saraswati in Vrindavan Mahimamrita. And maybe Divya Kishori, if you would like to read this one.
May my eyes become overwhelmed with ecstasy by seeing the nectar waves of Vrindavan's beauty. May my intelligence drown in the nectar ocean of Vrindavan's stories. May my body become agitated by the swiftly moving currents of ecstatic bliss, and thus roll about on the ground of Vrindavan. Falling down like a stick, may I offer my respectful obeisances to all the residents of Vrindavan.
Beautiful. And that's a sentence that will always come in my mind. May my eyes become overwhelmed with ecstasy by seeing the nectar waves of Vrindavan's beauty. And nectar waves, it's really very nicely described. It's like crashing on you, is like taking you, is moving the heart. So here we have serial of pictures and videos of Giriraj Govardhan, and that's all during the monsoon season. May our eyes be overwhelmed by the waves of Vrindavan's beauty.
And at some point during the rainy season, you can already see here now how much green is on Giriraj. At some point during the rainy season, practically you could not see any longer Giriraj, but it was full of greenery.
You can see there behind the very dark clouds. This is Rupa Seva Kunj. This is a project coming up close to Anyor by His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj. And they have like 6 Goswamis Kutir. There we see at the end it's one of the Goswami Kutir, and yeah, that's a very, very beautiful project where actually the point of beauty or Shri is like put it in front so that anyone who comes there can be captivated by the beauty. They have actually replanted very rare grass and plants and flowers that used to be growing in Raj long ago. And yeah, it's very beautiful. And there Vajayanti got some decoration service to do. Here she's in action, continuing the real tree into imitation tree. And here this is actually what Vajayanti was saying when Giriraj was just so green that you could almost not see the hill. Okay, so now we will share with you a little bit difficulty we had during the journey. Sometimes devotee will say, oh, you are in Vrindavan, so nice. Yes, definitely, no doubt about it. but Vrindavan can be also extremely intense. And maybe Punjabi Harini, would you like to read this verse?
When patiently tolerating hundreds of kicks, millions of insults, and the constant onslaught of hunger, thirst, cold, heat, and hundreds of other sufferings, penniless, agitated, shedding a great shower of tears, and calling out the names of Sri Radha Krishna in a piteous voice, will I wander in this land of Vrindavan.
That's very much things that we. So the first part actually of the time in Vrindavan was nectar, 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 and then the middle part, maybe the 4 months in between in middle, were actually extremely challenging. I did not thought when I read the diaries again, I really realized how challenged were there, and this is actually. Bojan Prabhu will say in a very beautiful way that tests in spiritual life are there for self-examination. You have tests to examine where you are, and this is very much something that we felt. Sometimes we felt we are in a washing machine, in a fast, or when the water goes out, that goes like spinning like super fast. So here we can see Vajanti, who had actually a lot of health issue, and especially at that particular day we had to go almost in emergency to Vrindavan to check her up, and we went to a hospital, and that was the nightmare. And after that, we went to another hospital, in the Bhaktivedanta hospital, and here she was just making some radios. And yeah, she definitely she went through a very difficult time. Yeah. Okay, we'll go back here.
Yes, so definitely Vrindavan, I think also as we were speaking with our spiritual master, Vrindavan is called Tapabhumi as well. There is some reason also because Vrindavan is the highest place, like you know from Rupa Goswami, is the highest place where everything is for Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna are in the center. So Vrindavan, like a mother, even though difficult, when I look with a backward glance, there were challenges, like at that time, somehow or other, I had some infections, a few things, I was just not able to get well. But then by the mercy of Srimati Radharani, prayers of the devotees, our spiritual master, then everything went all right. But I can see Vrindavan like a mother, as we say, because Radha and Krishna are in the center. So we need, if we want to live in Vrindavan, if you want to stay in Vrindavan, your consciousness has to transform so that everything is for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. So as I went through all these challenges, again, I could see that some or other Krishna is putting me in front. Vrindavana many times puts you a mirror in front. See what are your weaknesses. And I could see there is something like that a long time is there, and now I needed really to face it and let go of this old way of thinking and embracing a new me, new consciousness where I can trust the Lord, I can love the Lord. Like I was saying before, I could face that I have so many worries, so many fears. In that time, I see I'm so much fear of death even. And so through all that, I was helped to give up, also being the controller, because nothing was working, and in general, nothing works normally the way you think in Vrindavan, and learn the art of dependence, and learning that the Lord loves us, and so letting go is very transformational, transforming our mindset. Yes, so that's I found it was very, very beautiful. So this, I would say, tapabhumi, these tapasya austerities that are there, sometimes for the body and for the mind, are actually meant for us to come closer to Radha and Krishna, that we learn that everything is for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna, and we can let go of our old self.
You are learning to tolerate the outside circumstances and at the same time to go deeper into the inside, into consciousness, into Krishna consciousness. And so many up and down, from spiritual revelations, from the beauty of Vrindavan, from the deep feelings into the heart, up to being mental, being worried, tired, hungry, angry. Everything was really like a roller coaster. Yeah.
And I want to say also, as one goes through this beauty of Vrindavan, it's just that you can all the time, you never feel alone. You feel the Lord is there. And especially also at the time where I was in the last days when we had finally to go to the hospital, actually that same day or the day before, we got this phone call, or this message from the Rupa Seva Kunj for some service for the Goswamis Kutir. And there I again felt, okay, if the Lord is giving me some service, there is some hope actually that everything will pass soon. And I remember, because I was reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and our spiritual master as well always saying that actually we enter Vrindavan through service. And in the Bhagavad Srila Prabhupada says, while being in this world, service is the way we practice our relationship with Radha and Krishna. So that I found also, as if we are not yet on that level where we can hear Radha and Krishna, be with them, service is the bridge, is the way we are actually, we practice our relationship with Radha and Krishna.
We had many other challenge. Will our drinking water will be delivered today, or will we have nothing to drink? Will the electricity come back so that the fan will work and we will survive the heat? We were trying to open a bank account. We had to bring money to India for eventually buying a house, and just to find and look for a house, that has been actually very, very taxing. It took a lot of energy, and we were going from hope to hope. This is one of the first place we thought we would be able to purchase. And every time we felt, oh yeah, this is definitely Radharani's mercy. This is the sign, and then it would not work, and then another, and then lands were not authorized, and really we went through a lot of ups and downs with all those issues. And then in the middle, we had a little trip into Nepal. We had to go out of the country because of visa reasons. This is Bodhnath. And here is Pashupatinath, which is also very, very powerful and vibrant place.
Temple of Lord Shiva is there.
Yeah, the golden temple you see a little bit in the background, right?
Pashupatinath is one of the names of Lord Shiva.
And there are also cremation gates. And that's in Nepal, the Hare Krishna temple, Buddha Nilkantha temple. We have a very, very nice project there. And this is Buddha Nilkantha temple. This is one very, very ancient deity is there, of Lord Vishnu lying on Anantashesha. It looks not so big on the picture, but it's actually quite impressive. And it is said that he has the neck of Lord Shiva, that is a little bluish, and the face of Buddha. And then, like Vajanti spoke about service, our Guru Maharaj was saying, if you want to find a home in Vrindavan, first you have to find a service in Vrindavan. And this notion of service was just coming again and again and again through lecture, through reading. I even was giving a japa inspiration that was all about service, and then next day I understood but that's where we have also very much to connect when we are here in Vrindavan. And as soon as we were in the proper mood of service, or thinking of what service we should do, things will open up. like one of the service we would do was to go and scout in places of Raj. And this is something we like to do and we really want to do in the future, of taking devotees and pilgrims into those very, very beautiful remote places of Rajmuni. This is in the north of Kamyavan. There we have the book of Mahanidhi Swami speaking that some pastimes took place there. So we went to scout and we found a very, very beautiful place, and it's just so enlivening to walk in the fields in the land of Vrindavan. All everything is just getting out of your mind. You can just be there and not knowing at which time you will be able to witness something from the spiritual dimension.
The village where we were passing through, since they never saw white people, this was a very remote place, and the Brijvasi are just so kind, and you can see they have just such these eyes of purity. They are just so beautiful, all of them, and they every time. This is the grandmother of the village. She also came out to see us, and this is the beautiful smile. And also it's almost impossible, like these are the angels of the village.
They are naughty, but for the picture they were angels.
And yeah, beautiful landscape.
This is the new generation coming up.
And it's almost impossible. Every house, they wanted us to come in. They wanted to feed us. So finally we accept an invitation, and here they are cooking for us the famous roti, and they made with the fire. Yeah. The garden, they have their own small garden.
And they don't have much. They have few cows for milk products. They have some fields that give them grains. They have the garden, and they live in very, very simple way.
And if you see here on the left of the picture, there is a plant with some cow dung down. This is tulsi. So they're all like very devotional also.
That was on our walking. We found this very beautiful remote place. Kalpavrikshas, this is one of the best sadhana in Braj, to hug trees and to pet the cows. You can see on the bench they leave some grains for the birds, peacocks, squirrels. By the way, I see that it's already 8 o'clock. If some of you feel you need to leave, feel free to exit. We will share the recording later. I think we have maybe 5 or 10 minutes more, but it takes a little longer than expected. So this was our rickshaw driver in Kamyavan. He's from the Kshatriya community, and you can see he has a sword. I don't know if they see, I don't know if they see the arrow, but you can see he has a belt, black belt, coming across of his torso, and on the right you can see this is his sword. So we felt very protected being driven by him. And in Kamyavan we saw this beautiful temple of Jai Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, one Siddha Mahatma. We spoke a little bit about him in one of our Japa inspiration.
Right there. a vision of Krishna and Balaram.
They came to his kutir to ask for water. There is a beautiful story in the Saints of Raj book about him. This is Kanvara. This is the place, or Kanavara, the place where Krishna had his ears pierced. This is another Kadamba Kandi, very, very big forest area that is very remote and extremely beautiful. That's the Rasa Lila Stan. Yeah, this is one of our favorite occupation in Braj, to go and walk in those villages and learn the pastimes and remember the pastimes. And another service we had, and this you are all very well aware, was to start this Living in Braj project. And as soon as actually we started the Living in Braj project, immediately after, 1 day or 2 days after, something was moving forward for our hope to find a house. And I remember once also being in Vrindavan, and we were going to Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir, and I told the Janti, maybe we should speak to the authorities of the temple and ask them if they will need if we could do some service. I was in this mood that we came inside of the temple, and Pujari was there and just gave us garland. It was again coming back, this mood of service is so important, that everything that we do should be based on this mode of service. So here we had the Living in Braj experience, scouting, delivering. I go a little bit quicker because we have seen this picture already. That was Kushum Sarovar, Shyamvan. This is in Badrinath. There is a Badrinath in Vrindavan, and this is Dev Sarovar, where one Siddha Mahatma also had the direct darshan of Radha and Krishna. Amazing forest also there. And there Vajanti got a service of repainting deities. This is Lakshman, who is being repainted. He's smiling, very happy to get this type of service done. This is also a very, very beautiful place. This is Chandra Sarovar, and we will end our journey today here in Chandra Sarovar.
Yes, one of the things also that we learned to trying to find this residence, it was a transformational journey from the beginning to the end, because first we need to find the residence of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, and then naturally Radha and Krishna will replace, because it's a different way of things are working in Vrindavan. And Srila Prabhupada says in the Bhagavatam, constitutional position on full happiness for the living entities is when it's fully dependent and sheltered by the Lord. So we found that our real residence is at the lotus feet of the Lord. And then, a few days before leaving, it seems we got a residence.
Yeah, still not
95%.
95%. Yeah, and this is the last picture for today's slideshow. This was just next to Chandra Sarovar on our way back. It's actually 20 minutes walk from the place we found. So this is what we wanted to share. We thank you for your attention. We hope it was a little bit different than usual. We did not. Yes, Vital will share the recording. It was a little bit different than usual. We did not have much pastimes and like this, but we hope it was still inspiring and beautiful, and that you got some waves of beauty and sweetness through the pictures. So we thank you for your association, and we keep in touch for next most probably we will, because now we cannot do much of the living in Braj. I feel very inspired to go with reading, to have some nectar reading together, and we'll see. Now we are just coming close to a big festival here, but as soon as possible I will recontact the group and we can do some reading together. So thank you for your participation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.